In 1958, the United States had a secret plan. Not to land on the moon, not to explore it, but to nuke it. Yes, the world's most powerful nation seriously considered detonating a nuclear bomb on the moon's surface. Why? To send a message. Not to aliens, but to the Soviet Union. This is the true story of Project A119, the Cold War plan to turn the moon into a show of force. The 1950s were a time of extreme paranoia and pride. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a global struggle, not just for territory, but for technological dominance. In 1957, the Soviets shocked the world by launching Sputnik, the first artificial satellite into space. America was stunned and humiliated. They were losing the space race, and worse, they feared losing the psychological battle for world influence. So, what did the US government want? A spectacle, something bold, something the entire planet would see and never forget. In response, the US Air Force commissioned a top-secret study called Project A119, also known as Formal, a study of lunar research flights. But the word research was just a cover. The real goal? To detonate a nuclear warhead on the moon's surface, creating a massive explosion visible from Earth. It wasn't about science. It was about psychological warfare. To prove that America could do the unthinkable and reach anywhere, even the moon. The plan was simple in theory, terrifying in practice. A modified intercontinental ballistic missile would launch a W-25 nuclear warhead, a relatively small 1.7 kiloton device, toward the moon. It would impact the Terminator line, the edge between lunar night and day, so the explosion would be visible from Earth. No astronauts, no return mission. Just one shot to make history. One of the scientists on the team was none other than Carl Sagan, the future celebrity astrophysicist. At the time, he was a young researcher who worked on the visibility of the explosion and its potential dust cloud. Later in life, Sagan would advocate for peace and science communication, but in his early days, he was working on the mechanics of lunar nuclear warfare. Talk about irony. So why didn't they go through with it? A few reasons. First, there were unknowns. Scientists feared that nuking the moon could damage its surface in ways we didn't understand, or even affect future missions. Second, there was public relations. If the American people found out the government wanted to bomb the moon during peacetime, it could spark global outrage. And lastly, NASA was born. Instead of flexing military muscle, the US pivoted to exploration. In 1969, they put a man on the moon and won the space race in a very different way. Project A119 remained classified for decades. It wasn't until the 1990s that the public even learned it existed. It's a haunting reminder of the Cold War mindset, where nukes weren't just weapons. They were tools for influence, power, and fear. We nearly scarred the moon, just to prove we could. And that's a part of history they definitely didn't teach you in school. If you want more stories like this, the dark, hidden side of history, hit that subscribe button. This is Silent Empire, where the past is never really silent.